Hey folks, this is Jonathan. Gonna do a little video here on my bike, a little update video. Worked on it a little bit, and we're gonna continue to work on it. I'm gonna do a little bit on camera and try to get this thing finished up. And just wanted to show you. I had shown you the clutch setup that we done for the belt. Of course, that was finished up, and then ran it up. It pivots here, and then I've got this just welded in. Well, I'll do a little better job on my weld here, but got it tacked in there. And this is my handle, and this is off an old. It's actually off an old saw that I had actually taken to the junkyard for somebody else, and he let me get a few pieces and parts off of it before it went. It was a power feed table saw, a real old one, and I hated to take it to the junkyard, and I ended up buying a bandsaw from him to keep it from getting junk, but I just couldn't afford to buy the saw, and I'm not into woodwork, but and I've still got the bandsaw. I was wanting to sell it to somebody to use for wood, but it's a 36 inch. It's a big saw, but I just couldn't see it go to the junkyard, so I bought it. But here's what I've done. I bent the rod up and added the handle, and what I'm going to do, this handle pivots in and out, and I'm going to build sort of a track that this goes in, and with maybe like saw teeth, like a tractor throttle. And when this comes back, you'll be able to lean it over and actually, notch it in to where it'll stay. And then of course I'll make a few teeth to make it adjustable, because I'm sure the belt will slip and stretch as it goes along. But that's how I'm going to do that. And we'll get on that and show you as we go, and of course the rest of it. One of the bad things about working in a shop that's not climate controlled or heated is surface rust, and you end up getting it on everything you make, everything new. My machines, it's tough to keep that stuff off, and it's a constant battle on my machines to keep the tables from rusting. And you'll come out sometimes, and depending on the weather, and there'll be water running off of everything. So that's why when you do something, and if you don't do it quick and get some paint on it or some primer on it, it's going to surface rust. But this whole bike is going to come back apart, and we're going to repaint everything, or clean it all up and regrind welds and get it looking right, and then we'll paint it and make it look good. But I mean, this is just a mock-up of the build, and I really want to go ahead and get it done, get it running. I don't have anything to broach inside. I've got a arbor press, and I got the means to make the piece for the broach to run in, but I don't have any broaches. So I'm either going to try to pick up a 1/4 inch broach and make the rest of the stuff I need to be able to broach them pulleys, or I'll run them to a friend of mine that has a broach set, and he'll get him to do it for me. Really need to be able to do it myself. I mean, I don't like getting other people to do stuff on my projects, but sometimes you can't do everything. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on or not. I started to make an air cleaner there, and that old Schreber brass carburetor, and it's actually a drain off of a sink, and a Budweiser can from the 50s. And I don't drink, but I thought it was neat. And if I end up keeping it, I'll put a bunch of holes in it and put some foam in it and make it into an air cleaner. Let's just see it a little better there. And it may not stay, may or may not, but we'll see about that. But anyway, progress is slow on it. Don't get much time. My son had his first baby the day before yesterday, so I become a grandfather for the first time, and so I guess that gives me an excuse to feel older. So maybe I ought to go in and just sit down. But I'm just kidding about that. We're going to see what we can get done here, and I'll do a little more on camera, and we'll get this posted maybe tonight. Okay, after a little bit of time here, this is what I came up with for the clutch here to engage it. You see what we had before, and I just made sort of a little shifter box here. And what this does is, you see it's notched, so if you come back one, you can just flip it over and it'll actually latch in place. And of course it can't come back all the way because the belt won't allow it, but as it slips it'll come back. And then I actually put one on this side so I can go over and if it gets really out, but it's also going to be adjustable too, so you know that won't be any problem to work with. But it just stay up like that and kick over to the latch. But I think that'll work. I think I'm happy with it. Sometimes I do stuff like this and then just take it completely off. That's why I don't mount a whole lot permanent until I know for sure it's what I want. But I don't like the looks of it too much, but we'll see how it goes. Do a little changing on it. Don't want it to look like it's a sore thumb sticking on it. And I'm not real happy with the brass plates or copper plates, excuse me. But so I may change that. And that's one of the reasons it takes long to do, you know, a project like this. Is sometimes you do something you don't like and you change it, but it may be okay once it's painted and cleaned up. But you know, we will see. And I think next step is probably to work on the idler for the chain and get it up and going. And then I think I'm going to set this up as a hand crank. Once I get these broached and on, I will I'm going to build a hub to actually use a hand crank on this, and I would prefer to do that. I'm not in the shape to be able to pedal start it anyway, but we get it where we can hand crank it. We could always take off with it, but you know, I'm not looking to build it to ride. It might ride it once and that would be it, but we will I'll show you more as I go, but I'll ponder on that a little bit and see if I decide to keep it or do away with it. It'll be molded into the tank if I keep it, so we'll see. Let me know what you think. And I still think it looks like a sore thumb sticking out, but we'll see. I'll update you later on it. Thank you.